Hi, I'm Matt Ho. We're covering 15 issues in the final 15 days of the campaign. Today's day 7, and today's issue is elections. I actually just voted. In North Carolina, we have a 2-week-long early voting period, which is a very good thing. We need more common sense reforms that make voting and our elections more accessible, equitable, and fairer. There is absolutely no need to continue with the traditions of the past. As Thomas Paine said, government is for the living, not for the dead. How we govern ourselves should reflect the current needs of our society as well as modern reality, and not the imagined halcyon centuries ago. That pertains especially to our elections. First, we need to get money out of politics. As more big money has poured into our political system, politicians have gotten more corrupt and less accountable to the people. To eradicate the power of big money in politics, we need fully publicly funded elections, a limited time window for campaigning, free public airtime for ballot qualified candidates, and open debates. We have to end political corruption and profiteering. Polls show political and government corruption to be among the biggest, if not the biggest, concerns of voters. We should enact strict financial controls for members of Congress and their staff, including no Wall Street transactions and divestment from any stocks, funds, or industries related to the oversight and appropriation committees on which members of Congress and their staff serve. Abolishing the Electoral College and electing president by popular vote using ranked choice voting should be a no-brainer for anyone who is not entirely consumed and controlled by their partisan political identity. Likewise, fair ballot access is another key aspect of trying to make our political system the democracy we claim it to be. Ballot access regulations that deliberately keep independents and minor parties off of voters' ballots is voter suppression. Both parties do this, and this is the case in most states. If voters don't have a choice of candidates or an option to vote for someone that represents them, how can we call this a democracy? We need to pass federal legislation providing for fair and reasonable ballot access requirements for all elected offices. In many countries, including most of the U.S.'s democratic peers, like the United Kingdom and Canada, running for federal office requires 10 to 100 signatures. Yet in many U.S. states, would-be candidates must gather tens of thousands of signatures. And even when they do, their political competitors often throw them off the ballot on technicalities. That's exactly what the Democratic Party tried to do to us here in North Carolina this year. They were unsuccessful, but it did come at a cost to us. Voting rights mean little when unfair ballot access laws prevent you from being able to vote for candidates who represent you. Finally, the Democratic Party was able to nearly keep us off the ballot because they controlled the state and county boards of elections. Allowing political parties and partisan operatives to control their own elections is an inherent conflict of interest that invites abuse of power. As a friend of mine from overseas said to me as I was explaining the legal fight we were in to get on the ballot this year, he said, "You're telling me in the U.S. the party in power gets to pick its opponents?" That is a de facto reality in many U.S. states. Let's put all elections under the administration of nonpartisan overseers, include independent voters and representatives of alternative parties, and not allow any party to have a majority on any election oversight board, organization, or committee, including the FEC. There's a lot more I could discuss. We need to strengthen, expand, and make our electoral system more inclusive. We call it a democracy, but most of us would disagree. Only if we make it how we want, take that power from those with power, can we have a government that represents us. I'm Matt Ho. I'll talk to you tomorrow.